welcome back everyone to my channel. Okay, today we are going to start with the new unit, which is Unit 8. It is entitled A Hard Day's Work. Well, do you have any idea what do the phrase hard day's work mean? We also have an idiom, but then it starts with put in a hard day's work. It means to work for a full day doing something that is physically or mentally exhausting. For example, after putting in a hard day's work, the only thing that I want to do is to sit back on my sofa and relax. So for this unit, as usual, we are going to start with the first skill, which is reading skill. So before I start the lesson, I would love to share with you the learning objective for today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to show understanding of specific details and information by underlining the keywords in the questions and options, and then look for similar keywords in the appropriate text in order to answer 8 comprehension questions in Activity 3. And also, you will be able to recognize features at text levels by deciding what type of text each one of the texts is and giving at least 2 typical features of each text type illustrated in the text. So this is the picture that you can see in your textbook from page 96, if I'm not mistaken. So what can you see or what can you understand from the picture? Obviously, you could see there are 3 ants there moving a very large object together. So how does it connect with the title? Alright, it is directly related to the picture as the ants are working hard to move the large object. They are also working together to fulfill or to accomplish their tasks. So from this picture, it shows that the importance of cooperation and teamwork too. So this is your first task. Which jobs in the UK, United Kingdom, have more women than men? So you have to write W for women and M for men. So they give you a list of jobs here, such as teacher, member of parliament, journalist, engineer, laboratory technician, librarian, judge, and author. So just bear in mind, this is your opinion, so there's no right and wrong. You have to state whether that particular job has more women or men. Okay, you may share your answers with your English teachers later. So for my student, I would have the discussion with you about it. Anyway, here I would love to share a little bit of background information for this survey. Alright, some more statistics from a report on female representation in high-level jobs in the UK are as follows. Okay, back in 2013, members of parliaments, there are about 23% women in that parliament. Next one, for senior civil servant, about 36%. Secondary school head teachers in 2009, about 39% are women. And some directors of the 10 largest companies listed on the London Stock Exchange back in 2013, it has about 17% women in it. But you have to bear in mind those statistics is back then, not the current one. Okay. So now look at these jobs. How are they similar and how are they different? So we have librarian and we have author. Okay. So librarian means those who are working in the library, dealing with books. Meanwhile, author is the one who write books. Okay, can you share with me how are they similar and how are they different? Well, the similarity is both jobs involve books. Am I right? But as for the differences, there are a lot. Okay. Usually, librarians work with other people, right? Dealing with many people. Meanwhile, authors work alone. Librarians have specific working hours. Authors do not usually have a schedule. And librarian must be logical and organized, but authors have to be imaginative and perhaps more creative. So, could you share with me any other similarities or differences that you could able to find from these two jobs? Okay, next let's watch the video together. It is about an unusual job. So while watching, I hope you could find the answer on how long has Matt been doing that job. Let's watch this short clip together.
Most people head to the beach to relax in the sun, but for professional sand sculptor Matt Long, it's just another day at the office. The talented craftsman delights audiences world over with his incredible designs, using just water and sand.
I think it's beautifully constructed. I would love to live in a castle that looked like that.
I'm fond of saying these days that I don't really create sandcastles. What I do is I make people smile.
The 58-year-old has been sculpting for special events around the world for 12 years after he started building sandcastles for his kids.
As we were down at the beach on vacation, I saw someone create a little something in the sand, and I thought, gee, I could do this. And I started making little things that were incredibly embarrassing, but I still really believed I invented sand sculpting until several years later when I met a professional, and it changed my life.
Now the Staten Island native takes part in 3 to 4 competitions a year, and even placed second in the World Championship Sand Sculpting competition.
I have created sculptures for various price ranges, tabletops for $1,400, $1,500, up to monumental sand sculptures worth tens of thousands of dollars.
And while he has an impressive repertoire of sculptures to choose from, Matt returns for the old favourite time and time again.
As a sculptor, you might be called to carve just about anything. Castles and sea creatures seem to be the most iconic, with castles definitely taken a first place seat in that category.
But no matter the design, Matt's work usually elicits the same response wherever he is.
People will walk up to a sculpture, just look at it, and an involuntary smile comes to their face.
I think it's awesome. I'm actually an interior designer, so I think it's architecturally beautiful. He's doing an excellent job, and it takes a lot of patience.
And while his art has a very short shelf life, Matt remains philosophical about his work.
It's a completely natural element. If it's done at the beach and no one destroys it, the only thing that takes it away is the tide or erosion back into the sand on the ground. I guess you just get used to it. The temporal nature of sand sculpture is reflective of life.
So how was it? How do you feel about the video? Can you find the answer? How long has Matt been doing that job? Okay, well, exactly the answer is 12 years. Okay, anyhow, here is the summary of the video. Okay, all right, this is the summary of the video. The title of the video is Amazing Sand Art, Incredibly Detailed Sand Sculptures Created by Hand. It is about a master sand sculptor named Matt Long. He makes sand art for private parties, events, and corporations all around the world. He enters 3 or 4 competitions each year and has come second in the World Championship. Although he sculpts many different subjects, he prefers to sculpt fairy tales castles. They are detailed creations with staircases wrapping around high towers that are supported by intricate arch, and they are only made of sand and water. Amazing, right? So now what do you think would be a fun job, and what qualification would you need to the job? Okay, as you can see from the questions, there are 2 parts to answer from the first activity. First, you need to think of any fun job, and then you have to decide what qualification. Qualification means kelayakan and experience would be required for the job. There are no right and wrong answer, so I would love to see or to read your opinions on my Padlet page later. Alright, now we move on to the download box there. Okay, the 4 short connected sections are taken from different kinds of text. Each text has a style of its own. Learn to recognize the different texts, as these will help you to answer the questions about them. Which text types are used in this task? So you must aware that in the multiple choice task later, with 4 sections, each section is a different text type. As you notice from the text, we have 4 different kinds of text. This can be advertisement, articles, reports, emails, formal letters, announcements, facts, and etc. However, when you can identify the different types, okay, if you are able to identify those texts, you will be better to answer questions about them. Alright, I'm going to share with you the text, the reading audio, as you read on your own there.
Unit 8. Reading. A.
Richard Dunk must have the most enjoyable job ever. He spends his working hours testing water slides. Richard's employer is Best Choice, a company with holiday resorts in all 4 corners of the world. It's my responsibility to check the height of the slides, the speed as I go down, the amount of water in the slides, and the way I land in the pool at the end. All these elements are like a secret recipe. If the slides aren't exciting, no one will want to stay at the resorts. But more importantly, they must be safe, said Richard. He was recruited 6 months ago to help them make improvements to their facilities, including the slides. Since then, he has tested slides in Greece, Spain, Malta, Mexico, and the Dominican Republic. What does he think about his job? It's unbelievable. Who knew such jobs existed?
B.
Best Choice Malta, your destination for fun. For the most thrilling slides and splashes, head to Best Choice Malta, the best family-friendly resort. Scream as loud as you can as you shoot down the scary monster slide. Are you brave enough to fall down the completely dark black tunnel? All of our slides have been tested for safety and maximum fun by experts. 1 week Malta, flights included. Adults, £549. Children 2 to 12 years, £280. For more information, check out our website, www.bestchoiceholidays.com.uk.
C.
George Williamson, Best Choice, 127 Hampton Street, Pinchley. Dear Mr. Williamson, I am writing to apply for the position of Lifestyle Product Development Manager advertised in the Daily Times. As requested, I am enclosing a completed job application, my CV, and 3 references. I believe that my diploma in travel and tourism, as well as my considerable work experience, will make me a very good candidate for this position. Please see my CV for additional information regarding my experience. I can be reached anytime via email at richard.dunk@email.com and on 07433 246 357. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to speaking with you about this employment opportunity at your earliest convenience. Yours sincerely, Richard Dunk.
D. From George Williamson. Subject: Product Development Position. Hi, Mary. As you know, last Friday was the closing date for applications. John and I have gone through them all. It was a mixed bag of applicants. Some had no experience or qualifications at all, but were hoping for the best. Others were overqualified. However, there are 2 candidates who we believe stand out from the rest. The first one is Richard Dunk. He's worked as an entertainment manager at various resorts in the Mediterranean and really seems to understand the concept of a fun family holiday. The other candidate is Erica Martin. She's younger than Richard and has less work experience, but she does have impressive qualifications in marketing. I've attached their CVs for you. If you also think they're suitable, let me know and I'll arrange for interviews ASAP. Cheers, George.
So there are 5 of features of each tag. Alright, as for tag A, it is all about information tags or non-chronological report. Alright, it's written in present tense. There are some technical language, descriptive and factual, and of course third person quotation is there. As for text B, it is all about promotion, or we can consider it as information pamphlet. The heading, powerful adjective, superlative, exclamation marks, the personal tone, questions, details, they stated about the prices and further information. So tax B is either sort of promotions or information pamphlet. Meanwhile, for tax C, alright, it is look more formal. So this one is formal letter of application. We have name and address. Dear Mr. Williamson. The tone is formal. The purpose established on the first paragraph. Then there are some relevant details ending on a positive note. Okay, looking forward to hearing from you. Alright, next one, we have also formal ending. Alright, text D, alright, is all about internal email, working email. Is maybe between the boss and the staff. Alright, no address but subject instead. Okay, looks informal tone but still look very professional. Okay, with hyphens there, exclamation marks, purpose for writing established, and some specific details. So my question is, what do you think of Richard Dung's job? Is it the most enjoyable job? Or what job connected to theme parks would you like to do? Or would you like to test the speed of roller coasters? As you can see from the text. Alright, you may share your answers with your teachers later. Alright, this is your task. Read the instructions of activity 3 and read the options as well. Okay, first and foremost, you must think about what kind of text you are reading as you do the task. Okay, so we have about 8 questions there. Alright, you can always look back at all the text in order to answer questions 7 and 8 because it's stated from text A, B, C and D. Okay, so the instruction is use the information in the text to answer the questions. Question 1 and 2 refer to section A. The question is, why is Richard testing water slides? Number 2, why are the elements of a slide compared to a recipe? Question 3 refers to section B. What is true about Best Choice Holidays? Questions 4 and 5 refer to section C. Number 4, what has George Williamson received? And number 5, what does Richard think he is suitable for? Why does Richard think he is suitable for the job? Question 6 refers to section D. What would George like Mary to do? For questions 7 and 8 refer to sections A, B, C, and D. Which sections mention employment? And number 8, what is probably true about the job? So I would love you to do it later in the class kit. I will share the link to you below the description for all my students. Alright, next would be read the instruction of activity 4. Complete the sentences with the correct form of these words. The words in the orange box must be in the correct form. So you have to remember that. Alright, the first one, apply, impress, qualify, refer, responsible, and work. So how are you going to answer it? Alright, once you have identified the correct words for the sentence, you would probably need to change the form of that work. Okay, for example, number 1. I have a part-time job and the... Which one is the suitable word that you think for this sentence? Okay, good. The possibility could be work. Okay, however, you need to change the form of that work. So, I have a part-time job and the work will become right. Working hours are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. So again, I will share the link for you to complete for number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, for activity number 5, okay, for this task, you must work in groups of 5 or 6 members in it. You must prepare a slide presentation for about 2 minutes to think up an unusual job. Provide a job description or any qualification and experiences necessary for the job. Okay, later, once you come back from the school holidays, you are going to present your presentation, your PowerPoint, or it's up to you. Alright, after you have a discussion with your group members, then later you have to present it. Alright, this is part of your PPT. So the instruction would be, instead of work with a partner, I will change work with your team members or group members. And makeup, remember the word makeup means you have to create an unusual job. So give it a name and write a job description outlining what the job involves. Then write down what qualifications and or experience would be necessary for that particular position. The key words there is, okay, makeup. Means you have to create, not the one that we have found or you have known earlier. Okay, next would be, alright, this is for your knowledge, to enrich your knowledge. You may do it on your own to label the pictures. Alright, some of the letters are given to help you. Okay, it's nothing much, just want to test your knowledge by labeling the pictures there. You can share your answers later to your teachers as well. Alright, so that's it for today's lesson. Thank you so much for joining the class. I will be back with the next skill for the same unit as usual. So take care and have fun at home.